up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Raven and I am back with another story time. And if you didn't know, I'm going to let you know I call my story times here on my channel Confessions of a Sinner, because these are all of the stories that took place, all the drama-filled stories that took place in my life that led up to me getting saved and my salvation and me changing as a person. I'm just, here to share my experiences with you. So if you are new here and you like the video or you like the content, maybe you've come from some of my other story times, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. I am a growing channel and this is what I want to do. I really want to do YouTube, so I got to do the YouTube stuff. Okay, so like the video, leave a comment, just encourage me to keep going. Okay, now if y'all see like a little glare from my glasses, please just ignore it. I gotta see, baby. I gotta see. So let's get right into the video. So I am going to be telling you guys about a time one of my homegirls tried to hook me up with her man on the low. It was so weird. It was so weird. I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but that's what the story is about. Okay, so let's jump right into the story. So let's give a little backstory on my friend. What are we gonna call her? Let's call her Hazel. So we're gonna, this story involves my friend Hazel, and I met Hazel when I was working at Walmart. So if you watched any of my other story times that had anything to do with Adam, my previous story time I was talking about he cheated while I was pregnant. And I was telling y'all that before I had, after I met Adam in the CNA class, I didn't even end up being the CNA. I went to go work at Walmart. So I met Hazel at Walmart, y'all. And let me tell y'all something. It was so much going on at Walmart. I got some stories from when I was working at Walmart too, but because it was some characters up in there. But we're talking about Hazel today. So I met Hazel when I was working at Walmart. And when I worked at Walmart, I used to do reshop. So if y'all don't know what reshop is, it's like, when everybody come in and they put stuff back where it don't belong, like you put the meat in a toy aisle like a nasty, or you put, you go and you put stationery, school stuff in with the clothes. It was my job to collect all of that stuff from around the store and sort it out. And I worked on night shift. So I ended up, let me cover myself. That's not holy. So yeah, I ended up meeting Hazel while I was working at Walmart and working in reshop. Now, initially, me and Hazel got off to a bumpy start, y'all. We actually got into it, and Hazel tried to fight me when I was new there. She tried to fight me over her man, y'all. It was so weird, but red flags that I guess I just ignored. But anyway, fast forward past that, we ended up becoming cool, of course, and we used to hang out a lot. Now, one thing that me and Hazel had in common, and let me say, Hazel was a lot older than, well, I won't say a lot older than me. I think, because I had just turned 21 when I started working at Walmart. And I think if I was 21, I think Hazel may have been like 24 or 25. So she was a lot older than me. Well, a couple years, not too bad, but we still, we was cool. We connected through working. She was a cool person, and we both used to smoke cigs. So yeah, I used to be really addicted to cigarettes for a long time. And I actually recently stopped smoking. So I've been sober, I guess you could say, from cigarettes. Clean, I don't know. What do you call it? I feel like clean is like I was a crackhead. But nevertheless, I haven't smoked in a year and a half, so yay me. But that was something that we bonded over. So we worked midnight shift, so we would like go outside to smoke breaks. Sometimes she'll ask me for a lighter. Sometimes she'll ask me to bum a cigarette. Sometimes, when you smoke, I feel like that's like something that you have in common with other people. You just kind of become friends because y'all have a like interest, which is chain smoking cigarettes. But nevertheless, so that's how we became cool. Now, me and Hazel, we used to hang out a lot. We had a third party friend, which is actually one of my still like my best friend, really. We all used to hang out together. So my bestie, she don't need a name in this story because we talking about Hazel. But all three of us used to hang out together. We all worked at Walmart. I actually met Hazel through my best friend, and it's crazy because at the time I had just met her. Like this was my first time engaging with her. So I met Hazel through her, and we all just became cool. We was like a throuple, you know, we was a trio. We used to kick it all the time. On our off days, we used to hang out. We used to drink all the time. That was our thing. Like, we'd just go to Hazel's house and drink because Hazel had her own spot. I was staying with my mom. My bestie, she was staying with her peoples, and Hazel, she was like a full-grown adult. She had her own crib. She had a kid. And at the time, this is before I had my son, I was not tied down in no way, shape, form, or fashion, baby. So I was outside doing doing it up, okay? So we used to go to Hazel's house all the time, and Hazel would like cook for us. We would kick it over there. You know, guys would come over. You know, her place was kind of like the chill place, but not really the chill place, because it was her home. Like, you know, she had a child who lived there, and it was very much so a home. It was clean and everything like that, but you know, we would just all congregate over there. So we would always congregate at Hazel's house, but Hazel never really hit the streets with us. Like, me and my bestie, we was clubbers. We used to go downtown. We used to go to the club, go to the casino. We used to hang out, and we used to always invite Hazel, and she would just be like, no, I don't want to come. Y'all know I don't really want to go out. So it became a thing, like, where we didn't really invite her to come out with us like that if we was hitting the streets. But if we just wanted to kick it, like, say if we was doing something chill, like we all going out to eat and we're gonna get some drinks, okay, Hazel, she'll roll with us like that. And I think it was just because she was older than us, and me and my bestie, we wasn't on BS, but we was young and turned, okay? We was young and turned, and Hazel was she was a lot more settled. You know, she had, like I said, she was older, she had a kid, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. She had real life big girl responsibilities, and at the time, me and my bestie, we didn't have no responsibilities, okay? The only thing we knew is party and bush, okay? And that's what we was doing. So this day particularly that I'm about to tell y'all about, Hazel had actually hit me up, and I can't remember if I think my bestie may have been out of town with her man, or something was going on, something, she wasn't there. So Hazel actually hit me up, and she was telling me like, hey, my sisters, they're having a party. She has sisters, twin sisters. She's like, they're having a birthday party, they're having a stripper party. Now, I don't know what it was about the city, but people in the city and the surrounding cities, they used to have lingerie parties and stripper parties galore at this time. This is like 2018. Yeah, like 2018. They used to have stripper parties galore, stripper parties and lingerie parties. So Hazel was telling me like, yeah, girl, my sister, they having a stripper party. They're gonna have strippers. Now, mind you, I don't know why the girls is having strippers, but Hazel, she was a bisexual woman, which didn't bother me. And I had never met her sister, so I didn't know if they swung that way. But, you know, at the time, I wasn't really like a big strip club goer. Like, that's a thing in my city. Like, a lot of girls, they kick it at the strip clubs. Just for the dudes, the food, the vibe, or whatever. It's never really been my thing because I don't really have, like, no interest in naked women. But at the time, I just wanted to turn up. So I knew it was going to be a stripper pole. I knew it was going to be music. So Hazel was telling me like, yeah, they're going to have strippers. It's going to be food. You know, it's going to be guys there. We're going to be hanging out. We're just going to be kicking it. But she tells me that the party is like 35 minutes outside of the city where her people stayed at. So I'm like, okay, cool. She didn't really have to tell me much about her sisters or her peoples. I'm like, okay, I'm going with my homegirl. These her people, so I'm straight. So the night of, she's telling me like, yeah, we're gonna head out there a little early because, you know, it's my sister, my peoples or whatever, and they want to help us. They want me to help set up and get stuff together, and I haven't seen them in a while, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. So I meet Hazel at her crib. We get to her house and we're driving to the party. Everything is everything. Now, mind y'all, this is my first time. Was it my first time? I think I can count on one hand all the times me and Hazel then really kicked it outside of the house. Like, we used to just really kick it at her crib. So this is like one of few times that we actually like put together something and we went out and we kicked it. So we're driving. Everything is everything. We just talking. Everything is cool. Now, at the time, Hazel had ended up, she had told me She had told me that when we get to the party, she was gonna see her boo or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like Hazel, she had a little Rasta. Okay, she had a Rasta, and she was one of those girls who would keep like contacts with her exes, but she had exes who was like girls who were women and men. So like me, I'm one of those people, I fall out with my ex. Thank you, next. Like I don't be friends with my exes. Like no shade to nobody who do. I just never do. Like I be feeling like once we break up, we don't really have nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a high and by thing, but you're not just about to be hitting me up, texting me, calling me. We cool. We got history. I don't do the no, baby. You need to go. But Hazel, you know, she was cool with her exes. So was she telling me like she gonna see one of her boos, and you know she not really giving me background on the boo. She basically just telling me like, yeah, we used to like mess around when we was little, like kind of like a puppy love type of thing. Like I would come out here to the city where her sister stayed to go and kick it with my sisters, and he would be around, and you know how that go. You know how you have a boo like from your neighborhood you grew up in who used to flirt with or whatever, but nothing never really came of it because y'all was kids type thing. And now that y'all grown, y'all, you know, y'all can kick it, y'all can really do what it is that y'all want to do. So basically that's what she's telling me this vibe is, you know, with her little boo who gonna be up here. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it is what it is. And so she's like, yeah, my sisters, they got a little brother. You know, she's saying my little brother, but it's basically her sister's brother. She's like, yeah, and you know, I think you're gonna like him. He cool, he cute. You know, I think y'all gonna get along. So I'm gonna hook y'all up or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, so you gonna see your little boo. You got a little boo lined up for me. Everything is everything. So we driving. We stop at the liquor store. We get a little bottle. At the time, I can't remember. We was drinking Hennessy heavy. We was some Henny heads. So we get a bottle, and you know, we kind of parking lot pimping. Cause we get, y'all, this is, Lord, it's so crazy like how I am now. Because we was parking lot pimping, we was kicking it in the parking lot of the church. So the way the way that the street was, the way the way her people's neighborhood was set up, it was like she was right off a busy street. So her house set on a main street. So right across the street from her house was a park. I mean, not a park. It was a church, and you couldn't park on the street because they was towing real heavy, and it was like cars in the driveway or whatever. So Hazel was like, we just gonna park in the church parking lot, y'all. So, oh Lord Jesus, please forgive me. We in the church parking lot, we pouring it up. We popped the bottle open, you know, we pouring it up. Now, mind y'all, like I told y'all, me and Hazel, we both smoke cigarettes. So I'm sure it smelled like a nasty chimney in there. Now that I don't smoke cigarettes no more, y'all, I can't stand the cigarettes. Even like when I was smoking, that's one of the main reasons I stopped smoking, because I just hated the smell. But if you ever had a friend who was a cigarette smoker, or you was a cigarette smoker, you already know. You got sprays on deck, you got hand lotion, you got mints, Listerine strips, all type of stuff. So we drinking, you know, once you get a little buzz, if you ever smoked, you know, even if you smoke Black and Miles, you know, you get a little buzz. You're like, okay, let me hit a little puff of my cigarette or whatever. I'm going to put it out. Putting the cigarette out in the church. Lord Jesus. Lord, forgive me. Putting the cigarette out in the church parking lot. And, you know, we spraying our perfume, spray. Putting on lotion, mouthwash or whatever before we get in the party. Putting on our gloss or whatever. So we grab the bottle. We go into the party. So as we walking across the street, you know, her peoples is outside. You know, it's not really like a big crowd, because like I said, we came early so she could help her people set up. But it's a crowd. It's enough people out there, enough to where we couldn't park in front of the house or in the driveway. And there was even some people parking on the grass. So we walking across the street. Hazel calling out to her sister. What we gonna name her sister? Do her sister really need a name? Hazel, we gonna call her sister Diamond. She don't really need no name, but she like Diamond. Let's just say Diamond and Twin. I don't know, that's the sisters because they was twins. She like Diamond. So Diamond like, oh, what's up? My sis here, whatever. My sis here from the city, because they didn't really get a chance to see each other often, because like I said, they're like, what? I don't really think that's an excuse. Like they're like 35 minutes outside of the city, and I guess they didn't really travel or commute to see each other often. So they geek to see each other. So they embrace each other like, oh, my sister's here, my sister, my sister. Woo. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she introduced me. She like, this is my friend Raven. Hazel introduced me to her sister. And her sister's like, what's up, Raven? Like, okay, you cute. You know, we had our little outfits on. She like, okay, yeah, y'all ready to turn up? We about to party. We about to get it popping, whatever, whatever. She like, we got the stripper pose. She tells me that her sister's man, her sister baby daddy, the twin. So twin sister, what? Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Diamond's twin sister, who we're naming Twin, her baby daddy was in charge of getting the strippers to come to the party. So she's like, yeah, we waiting on Twin baby daddy to pull up with the strippers, but in the meantime, in between time, we got the stripper pole up, we going up, we got food, we got drinks, it's lit. You know, she turned up. She like, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, woo, woo. So, you know, we all like, okay, cool, cool, cool. So she escorts us to the back of the house where like you kind of the entrance. So she's like, nobody's coming through the front of the house, but it's people sitting on the porch. And so we go through the back of the house. You know, as we walk through the back of the house, we walk through and like, it's like one of those houses that have a back den, if y'all know what I'm talking about, kind of like a back porch that's enclosed. And it was like a fairly big backyard. So we walk into like the enclosed portion of the back porch, and this guy's out there, and you know, Hazel, she like, what's up, y'all? You know, these are her people. She don't necessarily know everybody, but she knows some people. So she like, what's up, y'all? They like, what's up, Hazel? You know, they like, who your friend? Who your friend? So, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm Raven. What's up? What's up? You know, so, you know, we're introducing everybody, and she introduces me to her sister's mother. And she introduces me to her sister's brother, who she was telling me in the car, like, yeah, I'm gonna hook you up with him. She introduced me to him, and she introduces me to her other brother. So she's like, yeah, this is my other brother. What we gonna call him? Because he need a name. Jay. So she's like, and this is my other brother, Jay. So I'm like, okay, what's up, Jay? How you doing? He like, what's up? How you doing? You know? So at this point, the way he kind of getting at me, I'm thinking that this is the brother that she was going to try to hook me up with. Just kind of like off of his vibe, how he kind of like approached me. He like, what's up? You know, what's up with you or whatever. So I'm like, you know, hey. So Hazel was like, boy, get back. She is not thinking about you. You was not her type. You not her speed. Like, you need to go on somewhere. She doing one of those things. Like, you need to get out of my friend face. Like, you know, but they just joke. They joking around. So her sister like, y'all want something to drink? So we like, we got a bottle. We got some Henny, you know, and we kind of got a big bottle. Because if y'all know, Hennessy don't really, well, at the time, I don't really know how much Hennessy costs now, but at the time, Hennessy didn't cost nothing. You could put $20 in. I put $20 in. We got like a big bottle of Henny, and we could pass it around. So we like, we got some Henny, but you know, we'll take whatever. So they're like, okay, y'all take a shot of what we got. We gonna take a shot of what y'all got. Now, mind y'all, we mixing liquor. Well, I'm mixing liquor because, like I said, Hazel was a little bit older than I was, so her mindset was different. Like, she probably thinking to herself, like, I gotta drive all the way back to the city. Like, I'm not about to mix no liquor. But she did take a shot. She was taking shots of Henny, but she wasn't mixing liquor. So, y'all, this shirt is gonna, I can't be showing y'all my cleavage on here. That is not becoming. But yeah, so we taking shots. They got the radio going. It's, you know, it's turned up. So they playing like a whole, I can remember they playing a whole lot of Sada. And this is like when Sada Baby was really like, I ain't gonna say when he was really lit in the city, because he's still lit in the city, but this is like when he was like fresh on the scene. Everybody was banging Sada. And, you know, I'm like, okay, we all the way in Pontiac, but they still banging Sada Baby. Okay, cool. So it was like something that we kind of all bonded over, because we all, you know, we all hype. We listening to the music. We drinking or whatever. Her sister Diamond is on, what I name her? Did I name her Diamond? I think I named her Diamond. I can't remember. Diamond, she on the pole, she spinning around, twirling, which was so weird to me because she like dancing in front of her people. Like the guys that was there was like her cousins, her relatives, and then she had some close homeboys. It was like a family affair, really wasn't no outsiders there for real. Maybe a few people, but not for real. So they twirling around on the pole, her and Twin, they twerking, hey, get it, you know. And the brothers is just looking at them like, these girls is crazy. You know, if you ever party with your brothers, and you get to being a little bit too wild, your brothers be looking at you in disapproval, like, you doing too much. But you know, it's their birthday, so they letting them live. Mind y'all, the whole time all of this going on, twin kids is here. So we having a full-blown house party, but twin kids is here. And not only is twin kids here, they in the mix. Like, they not even upstairs. Like, when we first got there and she went to introduce me to her sister, Hazel went to introduce me to her sister's mother, the kids was upstairs. But at this point, the babies is downstairs. They sit on the couch. I'm there with my drink. It's a little baby right here. And, you know, I've always been like, you know, I'm like, oh, I love babies, you know. So the baby is there. It's another baby over this way. And I'm just kind of sitting in between these kids or whatever. They bouncing from person to person because it's their family. You know, one time the cousin is holding, you know. If you ever been to like one of those family functions where y'all having a party, but it's like, we all family, the kids gonna be here. It was giving one of those vibes. So I wasn't really tripped out about the kids being there. I mean, I kind of was like, dang, these babies is just out here dangling at, because at this point it's like 11:30 and these is babies. They like, I don't know, maybe like 2 and 3 or maybe 1 and 2 or something like that. But it's definitely a family function for them. So I'm pretty sure twin, like, I mean, my mama here, they grandma here, they daddy here, because her baby daddy was there. They auntie here, they uncles here, everybody here. Like, the kids is here, they gonna be straight. And people was really just kind of like, whatever, the babies is here. So we all partying, we kicking it, they smoking big weed, you know what I'm saying? The kids all in the house, y'all. It's a ghetto function, but it's a function nonetheless, and I'm enjoying myself. I can't even lie, I'm enjoying myself. So as I'm enjoying myself, you know, Hazel was like, yeah, this my brother, this my little brother I was telling you about. Now, do he need a name? Yeah, we can name. I named the one brother, what I named him, Jay, and I'm gonna name this brother Mark. I hope I named him Jay. I can't keep up with these fake names. So, dang. Yeah, I think I did name him Jay. So basically, she's like, yeah, this is my little brother I was telling you about, this Mark. So I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So I'm kind of confused. Like, dang, I thought the way Jay kind of approached me, he was the one that was going to try to get at me. But if I'm being honest, I was not attracted to Jay like that. I mean, he was cool, but he wasn't my type. Mark was more my type. Mark was tall, dark, and handsome. You know, just how I like him. Jay was like tall, and he was, you know, he was light skinned. He had a body. You know, he wasn't ugly. He was not ugly at all, but he just wasn't my type. Mark was more my type. Plus, he was closer to my age. Like, I could tell that Jay was like a few years older than me, at least 5 years older than me. So me and Mark get to rap, and we get to, you know, kicking it or whatever. And he basically telling me like, yeah, you know, what he do for a living. He's telling me he's in school and he has all of this going on, y'all. And this is like so sad because he ended up passing away. So rest in peace to him. But at the time, yeah, he, you know, we just kicking it. We end up hitting it off. You know, we laughing and giggling. I'm flirting with him. He flirting with me. Everything is everything. I'm wrapped up in my conversation with him. So Hazel ends up dipping off, you know, with her people. She asked me like, you cool, girl? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. You know, I'm here. I'm kicking it with Mark. Her people's, everybody cool, whatever. So she with her sisters. They all dancing on a stripper pole. Mind y'all, the strippers never showed up. If it was a stripper party and it was strippers, the strippers was Twin and Diamond. That was the strippers, because the strippers never showed up, baby. But nevertheless, it's a party. They on the stripper poles. They kicking it. You know, they fool out line. I'm here talking to Mark. Me and Mark having a good time or whatever. You know, everything is everything. So the night goes on, and I'm getting, you know, I'm drinking, so I'm getting a little buzzed. I'm getting a little tipsy, and like I told you, I was a heavy cigarette smoker, so I'm like, I need to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I used to hate smoking cigarettes in front of people, especially men. It's just such a nasty, like, a nasty habit, and I knew it was a nasty habit, and I knew that when I would pull out a cigarette, people would look at me differently. So I wouldn't like to smoke cigarettes in front of men, but Mark had already knew that I smoked cigarettes because during the conversation of me and him talking, Hazel actually came and she asked me, could she have a, could she have a cigarette or whatever. And he didn't question nothing about it or nothing like that. So I'm getting a little tipsy, so I'm trying to sneak off into the backyard. And he like, where you going? Like, not actually to the backyard. I'm trying to sneak off to the car. That's how embarrassed I used to be that I smoke cigarettes. But I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to go outside to smoke. He like, I'll come with you. He had, at the time, we didn't have breezes or nothing like that. We had like, you had like a vape pen or something like that, but I can't remember if he was smoking or not. I can't remember if he was smoking weed or nothing like. I'm gonna say no because just I'm kind of remembering how he was. He didn't give smoker vibes, but for whatever reason he wanted to come outside with me, whether it was just like he wanted to just continue the conversation, or he wasn't tripping about me smoking weed. I mean, me smoking a cigarette. So we're outside, and we go outside. Everybody else is outside. So, Hazel was out there, Jay is out there, some of the other homeboys that they knew from the neighborhood is out there. They just been kicking it. So we all sitting out there and we just chopping it up. So something ends up happening to where Mark has to dip. He leaves and I'm just kicking it with Hazel and her sisters and Jay and her peoples or whatever. So we all in the backyard. And Hazel comes to me. This is like some time later. Maybe like at this point, Mark had been gone for like an hour. And honestly, I had forgot about Mark. Like it was cool conversation, but I didn't know where he went. He didn't ask for my number at this point in time. So I figured like he wasn't trying to get at me. So it really ain't, plus I ain't here to really catch no man. I'm just here to catch a vibe, So we all in the backyard, we kicking it, and we start to run out of liquor. We run out of bottles or whatever, So everybody in the backyard plotting on a bottle. Okay, we gonna go to the liquor store. They like, okay, it's a little liquor store up the street that don't close till like 2 in the morning or something like that. Something. We all gonna roll up there. We're gonna roll up there deep. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking at Hazel. Hazel like, yeah, it's whatever. She needs to re-up on her cigs, and we're gonna put in for our own personal bottle. Because we used to drink like fish, and we already knew we was going to need some extra liquor for the rest of the night and for when we got back to Hazel's house. So she like, I'm sorry. Let me stop moving this. So she like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. We can rush the liquor store with them. And they also talking about just leaving the party altogether and going to the city to go to the strip club. Now, mind you, I told y'all, in the city, it was a thing. Like, we, even still now, we function at the strip club, girls and guys alike. Sometimes you in there, you're not even throwing money to post strippers. Well, I ain't gonna say post, because them girls be getting money, but you just be in there functioning. So the thought process is like, we about to go to the city, we about to turn up, we about to go to the strip club, yada, yada, yada. And ain't no strippers up in here, so we gonna go to the actual strip club. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm with it. Hazel like, I don't really want to go, but if y'all want to go, I'll go. Because like I told y'all, she wasn't a clubber at all. She didn't go to the clubs. She would go to the gay bars. That was her scene, mostly, her vibe. But she wasn't a clubber. And they're definitely not kicking it at nobody's strip club. So Hazel was really on one of those things. Like, I don't really want to go, but if y'all want to go, we can go. I'm like, shoot, it's whatever. So as we all getting ready to, get our stuff and dip out, we thinking we about to head to this liquor store up the street. Then we're gonna push it back to the city because we gonna go to the strip club, y'all. Everybody drunk driving. Okay, this is shameful, but that's just what it is. Everybody is inebriated, So we getting ready to push it to the liquor store, and Hazel was like, "Come here, Pooh." Like, she used to call me Boo or Pooh or whatever. She's like, "Come here, Pooh." I'm like, "What's up?" She like, Jay wants you to ride in the car with him. I'm like, Jay? She like, yeah, he wants you to ride in the car with him. I'm like, I asked her, like, it's cool, like, at first I'm like, what? I'm a little confused because you didn't put me on the one brother. Now you trying to, what the other brother want me to ride in the car with him for? But y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, it's cool. She like, yeah, he cool. Like, these my peoples. Like, it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he trying to, he just wants you to ride in the car with him and kind of see where, whatever. So I'm like, what about Mark? She like, girl, look, I'm just relaying the message. You gonna get in the car with him or you not. Me, being a little hot in the tail self that I was, I gets in the car with him. Now, he had like a little Hemi or something like that. So, I ain't gonna say little, but he had like a little Hemi or something. You know, guys who drive anything that got a Hemi, they making all the noise, you know, basically like peacocking, you know. So, he doing all of that, and he gets out the car and he walks up to me. He like, what's up, baby? Like, you gonna ride with me? So, I'm like, okay, cool. even though I was just sitting there flirting with your brother, I'm gonna get in the car with you like a fool, a whole fool. So I get in the car with him. He opened the door for me. He like, you cool, you straight? Like, he like, you gonna come to the strip club with us? I'm like, yeah, I go if Hazel go. He like, all right, cool. So we drive into the liquor store. He not talking to me at all. He just turned the music up. He got sounds in his car, so it was like boom, boom, boom. It's knocking, and the engine is, you know, it's the summertime. I'm lit, so I'm just like, ooh, I'm just living, feeling like a hood princess, you know, just in the passenger seat of this man's car. Just whimsical. So we get to the liquor store. Everybody hop out the car, y'all. We was so deep in these people's liquor store. We hop out the car. Everybody go in. So everybody like, I'm getting this, we gonna get that, get some chasers, get some apple juice, get whoop whoop. So Jay is like, you know, what you want, baby? What you need? So I'm like, oh, we was drinking Hennessy. Me and Hazel was drinking Hennessy. He like, okay, I'll get y'all some Hennessy, but do you want something in particular? He asked me like, you know, I know you smoke cigarettes, you want buy your pack of cigarettes, like, you want some snacks, what you want, some chips, a juice, whatever. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, like the liquor is cool, but I'm like, I'll give me some snacks. So I think I got me like a clear fruit or something like that, and I know I got a Red Bull. I used to keep the Red Bulls. I got a Red Bull, probably like a pineapple juice, just little miscellaneous things that you get when you drinking. So we get to the register, and he like, that's all you want? Like, you don't want nothing else? You sure you straight? I'm like, yeah. So he like, Hazel, you want something? And I peep Hazel, like, she got an attitude. But the thing with Hazel is, Hazel was one of those people who had an attitude anyway. Like, she had an attitude about anything. Like, she was one of those people where kind of like having an attitude was a part of her personality. Like, I don't know how to describe it. To where I had to get to know her to know, like, okay, this is just how she is. Like, she was almost like a brat in a way. Like, you ever met a girl who's like a real life brat, who like have an attitude, who like, you know what I'm saying, would have their arms crossed but have an attitude and kind of be mean, but also be like, and me and Hazel, we ended up falling out over some whole other stuff that has something to do with Adam, okay? So we'll get there eventually, but I'm not gonna ever lie on her character. She was like so sweet. Like, you know, she was nice, but when I think back on it, I don't think she ever really cared for me. I think she kind of tolerated me because I was somebody who wanted to be around, because I wanted to be out, I wanted to kick it. But I don't really think she really genuinely like liked me or was my friend like that. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. But I noticed that Hazel kind of had an attitude. So I'm like, what's wrong with you? She like, girl, nothing. Like, it's hot. I'm irritated. I'm just ready to go. Like, you know, she's just talking. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, and Jay like, okay, well, we about to go. You come to the strip club. She like, I don't want to go to the strip club. You already know I don't do the strip clubs. I don't do that. Like, and at the time, y'all, we in a liquor store. So twin baby daddy is like, who gonna keep the kids? Come on. Because mind y'all, at this point, it's late. It's probably like 12:30 or something like that. Maybe a little bit later. But the babies is still up, and she with the mama. And the mama is not having it. Like, the whole time we at the house, big kicking it. The mama like, y'all need to come get these babies. Y'all need to go put these babies to sleep. This is ridiculous. Ooh, up in the bed. So grandma is not on grandma duty. She like, I'm not. So, you know, I'm not keeping these kids. So twin baby daddy is like, who gonna keep the kids? You know, like, we want to go to the strip club, but we ain't got nobody to keep the kids. So they end up saying like, ask Mark to keep the kids. Like, Mark could keep the twin. Now, mind you, he didn't disappear. Mark didn't left somewhere. He didn't disappear. He didn't went somewhere. So Jay is like, man, Mark ain't about to keep them kids. Y'all know if we go out to the city, he gonna come back. He gonna want to go to the city. He gonna want to meet us in the city. So they're like, well, what we gonna do? Because twin is like, it's my birthday. This is my party. Y'all not just about to leave me, which I understand. I understand that now. Like, I'm a mom now. I got a son. You ain't about to leave me and ditch me on my birthday. But at the same time, girl, you should have made prior arrangements for your babies, but nevertheless, so we all like, yeah, you right. So Diamond like, yeah, sis, you know what? You know, they twins. I ain't leaving my sister, y'all. Man, we ain't going to no strip club. We about to have the party here. Call up so-and-so. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but basically they talking about call up one of their homeboys that they grew up with, you know, that's from their hood or whatever. Basically, he be having 304s, okay? He's a what we gonna call him? He's a marketing professional, okay? And he has he's an agent. That's what we gonna call him. He's an agent, and he has players on his roster that he markets, you know, whatever the case may be. He got 304. So she like, call him up. We want some strippers. That's how we gonna get the strippers. Like, so as they're talking about getting more strippers, twin baby daddy chime in. He like, yeah, the 304s that I had, they was on BS. I gave them a deposit. They ran off with my money. These 304s is scandalous. They scandalous or whatever. He just going off on a tangent. So basically like, okay, Jay like, okay, well, when we get back to the crib, we gonna call the agent, and the agent gonna pull up, and he gonna pull up with some, you know, with some professionals, some young professionals, and that's how we gonna do it. We ain't gonna go to the strip club. We just gonna turn the party up. We gonna amp it up. So everybody like, okay, cool. So we leave out the liquor store. We get back into the car. I get back into the car with Jay. Now, I'm noticing that we all in a straight line going back to the house party, but Jay divert from the line. So I kind of like, you know, I'm like, where we going? He like, oh no, I'm gonna go back. I just wanted to kind of talk to you, you know. So we in the car. I'm like, okay. So he like asked me like, you know, how old are you? How you know Hazel? You got a man? You know, I think you pretty. I want to get to know you. Like, I want to take you out, take my number down, like whatever, whatever. So I told him, I'm like, I told him like, you know, that's cool, but I don't really know. I was kind of kicking it with your brother. So he like, you was talking about Mark? I'm like, yeah, I was, you know, I was kind of kicking it with your brother or whatever the case may be. He like, oh, okay. So he asked me like, you know, what you feeling him? Like y'all exchange numbers? I'm like, no, we didn't really exchange numbers, but I told him like, he just seemed a little bit more my speed. So I had asked him like, how old are you? This Negro tells me he like 28. Now, mind y'all, I'm like, he probably was older than that, y'all. I'm like 21 fresh, a fresh 21, maybe 22, 22 at the most. And so he told me he like 28, somewhere between 28 and 30. I'm like, oh, okay. He like, yeah, but I mean, he like, I ain't gonna step on your toes if you want to talk to baby bro, you feel me? But then he started throwing shade at his brother, like, who does that? He like, you know, but that's baby bro, you feel me? He basically like, I'm big bro, like I'm big homie, you feel me? Like, he get his swag and woo wop in the band from me, you feel me? So if you like him, you really gonna want to fuck with me, basically is what he's saying. So I'm just kind of sitting in the passenger seat. I'm like, but I'm still thinking to myself like, you cool or whatever, but you're not my type. Like now, as an older woman, I don't mind dating. I ain't gonna say older woman because I'm older, but I'm older than I was then, but I ain't old. You get what I'm saying? So age don't really bother me. Like as long as you're not my father's age, you know, I can date you up to 10 years older than me. Young me was like, ew, no. Grandpa. I even tried to have little stints where I would try to get fake sugar daddies. It just like, it was too much for me. Like if you didn't remind me of my older brother, you reminded me of my daddy, and it was it was weird. So I wasn't really feeling him, but whatever. Like I know how to play into whatever, because like I said, y'all, this man just bought me a bottle. I know how to be nice. I ain't gonna be rude, but basically I'm telling him like, I'm kind of feeling your brother, but he kind of just throwing salt at his little brother. Like not thinking about it. That's so shady. Like he basically like, yeah, I'm big homie. Like you don't need to be dealing with him. Like you need to mess with big homie or whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we pulled back up to the crib finally, y'all. When I tell y'all Hazel was sitting there, she got such an attitude. She's sitting there like she's sitting on the back porch. She's smoking a cigarette. Her legs are shaking. So I'm like, hold on, what's going on with her? Like she got a full-blown attitude. So we get out the car. Before I could even say anything to Hazel, Jay is like, what's wrong with you? She like, nothing. Like, why is you gonna drive off with my friend and not like, I wasn't even thinking like, that is so dangerous, right? She's like, why you just gonna drive off with my friend and not even tell me where y'all going? Like, because we wasn't even gone for that long. We was maybe gone like an additional 10 minutes. But she like, don't do that. You don't know her. And we up in the bed. And then she's like, you doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. So, y'all, I used to be so drunk and oblivious to everything that was going on. I'm not picking up on social cues at all. I'm just like, they is siblings practically. Like, she introduced Mark and Jay to me as her brothers. Like, these are my sister's brothers, so these are my brothers. Now, Diamond and Twin was Hazel's sister on her daddy side, but Mark, Twin, Diamond, and Jay were all brothers and sisters they had the same mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was one of those situations like, you my sister's sibling, so you my sibling. So she introduced them to me as her brothers. So I'm like, okay, sibling rivalry. Maybe they just get into it. I don't know. Ain't my business. I don't care. I'm drunk. I'm oblivious. I'm just, woo, it's a party. You know, smoke a little cigarette and get a drink and just be done. So that's where we at with it. So eventually Mark ends up coming back, y'all. And Mark comes back and I don't know. He come back to the party. He ended up approaching me again and we ended up talking or whatever. So I remember Mark did ask me, he like, so what's up with you and my brother? Like he asked me. he did ask me, like, my brother hollered at me and tried to check my temperature about how I was feeling about you. He was trying to get at you. I'm just trying to see how you feeling. You feel me? So I'm being a choosy lover, not really, because in my mind I already made up. Like I'm like I told y'all, Mark was more my speed. He was more my age. He was tall, dark, and handsome, just how I liked him. So I already knew. Like I ended up telling him, like, I told your brother, like, we had started a conversation, but you didn't ask for my number, so I wasn't really sure how things was going. He like, yeah. He like, my brother always do that. He try to pick up on girls that I be kicking it with, or, he try to flex, basically try to peacock around, try to pull them or whatever. So he like, yeah, but, did you give him your number or anything like that? I'm like, no, we just kind of talked, but I told him, like, me and you had initially struck up a conversation. I ain't want it to be weird. So Mark like, okay, cool. Like, I ain't tripping on it. You made your choice. So you chose up. You chose up, so it is what it is. So me and Mark ends up exchanging numbers, and we enjoying the rest of the party. Now, mind y'all, after we came back from the liquor store, Hazel's whole demeanor is like changed. She changed, like the whole demeanor is changed, y'all. And I'm not necessarily knowing what's wrong with her, but like I said, Hazel would go into these periods where she would just have a full-blown attitude and like be snapping on people and just be snappy. And people would just be like, that's just Hazel. Like, so she had an attitude about something. Honestly, I didn't care because I was enjoying myself. And I didn't care to really get involved with her melodrama, because she would sometimes be melodramatic. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be a little dramatic. I could be definitely a drama queen. But one thing, from one drama queen to the next, I got enough drama, okay? More issues than Vogue, baby. I don't want to deal with your drama, especially when I'm trying to have fun. So I just kind of ignored the attitude, I ain't gonna lie. So time goes on and we end up leaving. And everything is cool. Diamond and them is cool. Y'all, crazy thing about it, Hazel ended up telling me that one of her sisters was saying they didn't like me. Like, that was always a thing. I don't know what that was about, but Hazel always would come back and tell me that people she would introduce me to did not like me. And I don't know if I rub people the wrong way when I first meet them or what it is, but I feel like I'd be being nice. But she will always be like, yeah, you remember so-and-so I introduced you to? Yeah, they don't like you. Like, okay, it got to the point to where I'm like, is there a reason? Like, are you telling them something about me? I don't know. But she'll always just be like, all her people's, not every single person, but she will introduce me to people and then later on be like, yeah, they don't like you. Like, this person, they do not like you. Like, okay, whatever. But nevertheless, so we driving back to the city, and I'm listening. We in Hazel car. We listening to the music. We got the aux playing. We having a good time. We smoking. She's smoking. And her phone is blowing up. Her phone is going off, going off, going off. So she like, oh my gosh, I wish this nigga would stop calling me. So I'm like, oh yeah, what happened to your boo? Like, did you see your boo? Because mind y'all, I had got so wrapped up in talking to Mark at one point in time. Hazel had went outside. I didn't know who she was out there talking to. And she never introduced me to no boo. So I'm like, what happened to him? She like, girl, he was on bullshit. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I had an attitude. I'm like, okay, yeah. I was like, I was wondering why you had an attitude, but I just figured I would ask you when we got to the house because I didn't want to kill the vibe. She like, yeah, that's why I had an attitude. Like, my boo was on BS. We basically got into it. And, you know, he irritated me. Like, I was so ready to go, whatever, whatever. She like, I came up there for nothing. And she didn't say, she like, I came up there for nothing, but not like that. She knows she was coming up there for her sister's party, but she's basically like saying he basically got me all hyped up to see him and want to kick it with him for him not to even show up, and that's why she had an attitude because he basically spent her is what she telling me. So I'm like, dang, you know, I'm sorry. She like, girl, I'm not stunting him. Like I told y'all, Hazel had a roster who was feeding her lobster and pasta. Well, not necessarily lobster and pasta, but she did have a roster. So she was one, you know, Miss One, next 15 one coming. So she like, girl, I ain't tripping off him. Like, it is what it is, but he really pissed me off. So mind y'all, we driving back. We finally get back to the city. We get to Hazel house. Everything is cool. So I'm telling her, like, I had a good time. Like, your sisters are so nice. Like, your peoples is cool. Like, I had a good time. So she like, yeah. So we ended up popping open the bottle of Henny that Jay bought for us, and we pouring up, we drinking it, we just shooting the stuff. And we, you know, we smoking because mind y'all, both of us smoked. Smoking like chimneys, baby. We in there blowing it down at her dining room table. And she gets a phone call. And I'm like, who is that? You know, it's late at night. Who is that calling you? She like, this is who I was telling you about. I'm like, okay. So she answered the phone and she like, hello? Yeah, we hear you. We made it. Okay, yeah, she here. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like I told you, you was doing a lot, so I don't know. Like, and so I'm like, who that is? You know, I'm nosy. Who is that? But she like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll see you when you get here. Click, hang up the phone. So I'm like, who is that? She like, girl, that was Jay. I'm like, oh, he coming over here? Like, she like, girl, yeah, he coming over here. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, here's the thing. I felt set up. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like, why are you coming over here all the way from Pontiac back to the city to try and come in, like he's spending the night type vibe, you know? He was trying to get at me before, and the only reason why I say I'm feeling set up is because Hazel had put me in predicaments like this before, where she would basically put me on somebody without me knowing. Like, basically, I felt like in hindsight, Hazel would be telling people, like, giving people the green light on me. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I'm not just going to put my friend on you. Like, if you like, okay, yeah, I like your friend, I want to see what's up with her. Okay, go talk to her. But I'm not just going to be like, yeah, you can, you know, see what's up. You know, she'll talk to you or whatever the case may be. It had been other situations where she had put me in, like, you know, uncomfortable situations with other people she was cool with, had them thinking, like, unless I felt like it was just okay for you to just run up on me and basically, like, not necessarily shoot your shot, basically like, what's up with you? Like, what's up with the what's up? Like, forget all the small talk. Hey, how you doing? Let's go on a date. Like, I'm trying to get in them pants, baby. What's the deal? Type thing. And so that's the vibe that the people was giving. So it just kind of made me uncomfortable. So I'm like, what he coming over here for? You know? So she like, okay, this is what I meant to tell you. So remember I was telling you in the car about my boo who didn't show up? I'm like, yeah. She like, well, Jay is who I was talking about.
Bombastic side eye.
Excuse me? Like, I thought Jay was your brother. She's like, yeah, well, you know, he's not my actual brother. Like, he's my brother. He's my sister's brother, but, you know, he just been around. So we used to call each other bro and sis, but we used to, like, fool la la. Like, we be fool, like, we used to have a thing back in the day, and now that we grown, we be fool la la, and he be coming to the city and we be hunching it down or whatever. So I'm like,
criminal offensive side eye.
My face like, wait, hold up. I'm confused. Like, I thought, wait, what? So basically, she's like, yeah, it was one of those things where, like, we was kids and we used to have a crush on each other, but we never really used to say nothing because basically, like, we was raised up like family type thing. We was raised up like family, but me and him know we ain't family. Like, I'm feeling you. I think you cute. You think I'm cute. So when they got older, as teenagers, they start knocking boots, okay? From what I can remember her telling me, like, they start messing around. And she ends up telling me, like, yeah, it actually caused a rift between her and her sisters, and her sister's mother, like, didn't really like her because they're like, you family, like, they just kind of played it off weird. So she was like, yeah, it was just a whole weird situation, but we was raised up like family because those is my sister's brother, but we ain't family type thing. So I'm like, okay, like, I can kind of sort of understand that, because I've had cousins who was really just like my mama's homegirl son, who I just grew up with, like, who I was like, oh, you cute, you ain't, but you my cousin, but you really ain't my cousin, but you my cousin, you feel what I'm saying? So I get it. You feel what I'm saying? Mom, a co-worker, been her co-worker for 20 years, and now she's telling me her co-worker of 20 years son is my cousin. Y'all know how black people do. One of those situations. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of understand that. But I'm like, okay, I get that, but why was you trying to put me on him if that's your man? Like, that was a legit concern of mine. Like, why is you trying to put me on him and it's your dude? She like, well, I mean, like I said, like, we kick it. That's my dude. That's my boo or whatever. But it ain't nothing like that. So, and I ain't no cock block. So if he wanted to try to get with you and you wanted to get with him, then, it is what it is. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I do not like women like that. Cause don't try to play it up for a dude, because you really had an attitude when I was in the car with that man. You had an attitude that he was trying to talk to me because this is your dude, this your boo. So don't ever try to fake the funk for no dude just to try to get in good graces with him or try to play it off like Hazel would do that. She would play it off like, I dog hoes, not just one, but all hoes. But in reality, she was very emotional. She was very sentimental. She had a thing for her, even though she had a roster. She had a thing for him, and sometimes she would put off like she didn't care, put on airs, but in reality, she did care. So she basically telling me like, but I ain't gonna cock block. If you want to try to get with him, then you can get with him. I'm like, girl, no. First of all, I own the girl called Manual, okay? And I know better. We not doing that. So I'm like, no, like, no. And I'm like, I wasn't even feeling him before. Like, and I didn't like that because remember I told y'all at the beginning of the story that me and Hazel had got into it when we first met over a dude at Walmart. So this would be the second kind of time where she felt like I was trying to get at a dude that she was dealing with, who in reality I didn't really want. Like, one thing about it, I flirt, but I don't want you. I had already made my mind up that I was gonna mess with your brother. I had chose up, okay? So if she could tell that from our conversation throughout the party, like, I tell her, like, I think Mark is cool. So for you to just be, and I even asked you, like, is it cool? You know what I'm saying? And she like, yeah, girl, he cool. Like, ain't nothing gonna happen. He ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. But this is the play. So apparently, well, I'll get there. So I'm like, girl, no, like, like, why would you do that? She like, girl, I'm just saying, like, if you want to deal with him, then you could, yeah, if you wanted to kick it with him, you can kick it with him. I ain't tripping, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that kind of pissed me off because he was doing too much. Like, we don't like nobody in our business. So basically she's just trying to put on the front, but he overdid it. Like, basically he overdid it. And I'm like, if you would have told me that, I would have never got into the car with him. She like, I know that. I'm just, she ain't basically have no excuse for her behavior besides the fact that she didn't want to cock block just in case I did want to kick it with him. But girl, no. You should have just been like, girl, that's my dude. And I would have been like, no, I'm not getting in the car with him. So I finally end up asking her. So I'm like, oh, so he coming over here for you? She like, yeah, basically he coming over here for me, but I'm not gonna lie, I already know how he is. He gonna try to ask for a threesome.
Girl, what the f you talking about?
Now, mind y'all, I'm not into girls. I'm not even a little bit curious, and I don't share my men, and I definitely don't hop into bedrooms of other couples. That's just not my, especially with my friends. Like, nah, that's not my thing. So I'm like, I'm like, girl, what? She like, yeah, but I already know you ain't going, but I'm just trying to put you on game because he's going to try to, like, you feel me? So now in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, no, y'all be doing this often, and the reason why you was trying to let him fill me up was to kind of see if, I don't know. Cause I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say I felt like Hazel wanted to sleep with me, but I will say that if I wanted to sleep with Hazel, I felt like she wanted to. I don't think that was her motive for being friends with me, but she had relationships with her friends to where like for example, she had a whole situationship with a girl who we worked with at Walmart, and they did the boop, and they was cool. Like, it was one of those type of relationships where she would have friends that she occasionally slept with. I didn't have that. Like, I don't sleep with my friends don't sleep with me. I only sleep with my man, and I don't fool la la in that way. It just gets too mixy and too messy, and I'm a very territorial girl. I get mad, I get jealous, I be want to fight and all that type of stuff. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool. So I'm definitely at this time, I'm feeling uncomfortable. But she like, I'm gonna get him. Like, I ain't gonna let him do, she like, I ain't gonna let him do nothing like that to you. But I'm just like, he is gonna try to, whatever. So I'm like, I got a whole attitude. So I got a whole attitude. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. Mark ended up calling me. I'm halfway talking to Mark. And Mark is like, yeah, my brother about to come down here. I was telling him, like, I would come with him because I wanted to see you. So I'm like, yeah, you should have came. You should have came, Mark. So we talking on the phone. Me and Mark talking it up. We talking for a good while. Maybe like an hour go past, and a knock at the door comes, and Jay walked through the door. Jay walked through the door. Hazel going, Hazel embraced him. And this is so weird because as I'm sitting on the couch talking to Mark, Hazel and Jay embrace each other. They get a hard kiss. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's up, baby? Woo wop and the bam. And I'm just looking there like, what? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, please, somebody pinch me. What is going on? He like, what's up, Raven? I'm like, what's up? Because now at this point, I'm like, you was trifling. I don't like you. Don't try to set me up for the okie doke. Like, you knew you was talking to my homegirl. Like, and then I got to thinking, like, what type of person do you take me for? Who you think I am? Like, what you think I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to play me. So as he said, what's up to me? I'm like, what's up? He like, you cool? You straight? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. He said the dining room table. He start rolling up tree. He like, you smoke? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm giving him the cold shoulder. I'm being a BICTH, like Mama D say. I'm being a stone cold. I'm giving all type of attitudes and everything. And Hazel was like, she kind of chuckling. She like, leave her alone. Like, she ain't with it. She not with it. So Jay start laughing like, what she ain't with? What you talking about? What you talking about? She like, don't even, I already told her what was up. Like, she not with it. He like, man, I don't know what she talking about, Raven. I don't know what she talking about. No, you know what she talking about, nigga. You busted, both of y'all. You feel me? Like, nah. So eventually, Jay go upstairs. He goes to take a shower. Me and Hazel still sitting downstairs. We just sparked up another cigarette. We kicking it, whatever. So nighttime come, y'all, and I end up going to sleep. I get on the couch. Now her son would be gone sometimes. She would be like, go sleep. You can go sleep upstairs in the baby room, but because her son had like a big bed. But I'm like, I'm drunk. I done smoked 5 million cigarettes. I need to sleep on the couch or whatever. So I get a blanket and I sleep on the couch. Now, mind y'all, I'm a light sleeper. So I go to sleep, y'all. And out of my sleep, I hear coming from upstairs. I must have popped my eyes open and I could hear I hear moaning and groaning. I'm like, oh my goodness. I know these people is not freaking on top of me. They upstairs getting it in. I hear Hazel, which is something I never want to hear my friends getting they back blue in. That's just never something I want to hear. Like, I was disgusted. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was disgusted. I'm like, ew. So I can't even go back to sleep, y'all. I get up. I pour me up another little drink. I'm sitting at the dining room table. I'm smoking or whatever. I done turned the light on, turned the TV on. You feel me? Turned the volume up. Because I can't sleep now. Because they is going at it. They is ba-doom like nobody's business. They must have really, like, I don't know. Talk about a sibling rivalry. Okay? Because they was getting it in, baby. They was doing it up. And they was going for a minute, y'all. But once they finish, y'all, why Jay come downstairs in his boxers? And he had on briefs where I could see his Peter Whacker. Like, I was so disgusted. I'm like, this is gross. But yeah, he comes downstairs and he like, you straight? Nigga, don't. Yo, I was so offended. I wanted to punch him, sock him in his face. He in the kitchen like Melvin. How Melvin was cooking up eggs. You know, remember, I always do baby boy references. If y'all don't know, that's my movie. But he in the kitchen like Melvin or Joe, whoever with the Kool-Aid. And his boxers talking about some, you straight, you good? Like, basically, like, you want some of this? No, get your bald head, small head about my face. Like, I don't want none of that. I don't know. I'm cool. Like, oh, I was so irritated. I was so mad and so, like, I wanted to just pounce on him, like, and just, I was so mad because don't ever play with me. Please don't insult me like that. So he like, I'm just saying, like, hey. Then this never had a nerve to tell me it ain't no, it ain't nothing. Like we do this all the time, which I knew they did this all the time, but it ain't nothing. You feel me? If you want to, it's a judgment free zone. I'm like, I'm cool. He's like, all right, and try to shimmy on off like he's sexy. Boy, you ain't sexy. You look like a twig in boxers. Like, I was not feeling him. I was not feeling the situation. I was not feeling Hazel. I wanted to go home, but y'all, at the time, I didn't have no car. Okay, so I had to wait for Hazel to take me back home. I was so uncomfortable, y'all. And Hazel ended up, I ended up not liking him because even throughout the duration of Hazel dealing with him, he was still trying to holler at me. I remember one time he was continuously writing me on Facebook and I was letting Hazel know. And Hazel started getting mad at me to the point to where I had to ask my bestie, like, what's up with her? Like, am I wrong for telling her about this? Like, she tried to make it seem like eventually, like, oh, it got to be a reason why he keep contacting you. Like, you ain't fully closed the door. Like, I don't want this man. I don't want him. Like, like, I could not stand Jay. Like, after that situation happened, like I said, him and Hazel continued to date. They was boyfriend and girlfriend. He ends up moving into Hazel's house. I used to hate going over there. Like, I used to call her, like, she used to be like, why you don't ever come over? Is Jay there? I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't want to be around him. No, I just don't want to be around. So if he around there, I don't want to be around there. And then once I finally did get my car, because no, I did have a car, but my car was broke down. That's what it was. So once I finally did get me a new car, and I would come over there whenever he would pop up, because he ain't come to find out that he was vroom, 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 vroom. Guess who car that was? That was Mark's car. That was Mark's car. So he didn't even have no car. So Mark had little brother who he was trying to stun on, actually had two cars, and he was letting big brother borrow the car with the Hemi or whatever. So he didn't have no car, so he used to be driving Hazel's car around, and he was just, I did not like him for her. I felt like my friend could do better, but hey, I dated Adam, so who am I to talk? But nevertheless, y'all, that is the story of how my homegirl tried to hook me up with her man who was actually her brother. Like, weird. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this story. If you did like the story, please click the like button and subscribe to join, you know, my little smaller YouTube family I'm trying to build up. I'm really trying to do this YouTube thing, y'all, so I gotta be consistent. My next video, well, it's gonna be a mixture. I want to do like a Q&A. I'm kind of just, I ain't really a Q&A, but I'm just kind of gonna do like a get to know me kind of video. I want to start doing vlogs, but I have to figure out how I'm a vlog, what I'm a vlog about. I don't know, because I don't want my channel to just be a story time channel. Because when I envision my YouTube, because I've been wanting to do YouTube for so long, it's a vlog channel. It's a channel where I just do my daily life. I let y'all into who I am now as a person, and not so much to who I used to be. Because like I said, these are all stories that happened before my salvation. I'm a totally different person. The Lord has did a whole 180 on me, okay? You know, I still got bits and pieces that's going, you know, that he's going to use, you know, to uplift me in the body of Christ. But nevertheless, yeah, so my channel, the direction I want to go into is just more like mommyhood type of vlog, story time, you know, girl talk type of video. So I'm gonna get more into that. But I'm just doing these story times because I love story times. I'm like a lot of people. I watch most of the people I'm subscribed to, they do story times, and I know that it draws in the crowd, and you know, I'm just trying to find my tribe. So yeah, like the video, leave a comment, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.